Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. So today's Monday, October 16th, and it's the start of a new week. So I will be working on finishing up some lesson plans really quickly, and then I will print them out. It is around 7:30 in the morning. I got to school around 7 a.m. and I usually get to school this early. School day doesn't start until 8:20 for the kids. We open the doors and the kids come in. So let's see what the day has in store for us today. So really quickly, I wanted to go over my lesson plans for this week. I have the date right over here along with our focus text. These are our reading FSA Florida reading standards, and I have them sectioned off by the three main clusters. The fourth cluster is writing, and I do address that at the bottom. But basically, I just check off the standards that we'll be working with during the week. These are my gifted goals and objectives. I do teach gifted students, so those are listed there. These are the materials I'll need for the week. These are our opening routine, which is also our do now for the morning and for my afternoon group. I do see two groups. I see a group one in the morning and my second group in the afternoon. These are all the lesson plans of what we'll be doing this week in reading. This is how I will evaluate each activity. And at the bottom, I provide a legend about what each of those symbols represents. I also have my language arts and writing lesson plans right here, as well as my social studies. I only teach social studies on Mondays and on Thursdays, so that's listed there. These are our vocabulary words for the week. I do alternate between spelling and vocabulary. Last week we had spelling. This week we have vocabulary. Next week we'll have spelling again. And this is the homework for the week. Sometimes I don't have enough time to do everything that I have planned. I do like to plan for the entire week, and I will have that already ready the first day of the week to go. But whatever we don't get through during the week, I usually draw like arrows, moving things over. And that doesn't always happen, but that did happen last week. Here are my lesson plans from last week, where I had to shift things over. So I draw arrows to kind of like move things. And the reason why a lot of these things had to be moved last week was because the students did not receive full, clear understanding of the standards that were covered last week, which was problem and solution and idioms. And we were doing an idiom activity, which I'll show you later. So I wanted to make sure they had that clear understanding before they take their Reading Wonders test today, which goes over those two strategies. So those are my lesson plans, and these are my lesson plans for this week. And now let's go make some copies. So my copies are made, and I went ahead and already put the vocabulary homework together. I do get my homework from this book, The Vocabulary Workshop, and I put them all together. And what I did is I print them so that there is 2 sheets per paper, and I printed it in a booklet format so that I am saving paper. So that way we don't get a lot of paper during the year, and I like to conserve my paper. So instead of wasting 6 sheets of paper, I only waste 2 sheets, and I fold it together like in a booklet and staple it, and the students are able to do that. I also did the same thing for our grammar minutes, and as you can see, this comes from an ebook, and the ebook is called Grammar Minutes, and it's by Evan Moore, I believe. Let me see. Actually, this is by Creative Teaching Press, and it is an ebook. They have them for different grade levels. This is for 4th grade, because I do teach 4th grade. So what I did is each of these can easily be printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. But again, I printed it like a booklet so that when I fold it, minute 33 is there, then minute 34, 35, and on the back is 36. So instead of wasting paper and printing 2 double-sided sheets of regular paper, I only print 1 sheet, and I have 4 different minutes. And again, these are meant to be done quickly, so the students usually take a minute per sheet per minute. They do this in about 4 minutes. I usually give them like 5 or 6, and then we go over it so that they understand the concepts that are in the minutes. So actually, these are the ones that are for later in the week. Today they were working on minutes 17 through 24 through 20. So that's what we have, and these are basically the copies for the rest of the week. I'll be sure to share the book for this resource down in the description below. I did purchase this as an ebook. I just prefer having ebooks so that they don't take space in the bookshelf. So I'll be sure to share that in the description box below. So I wanted to share with you all what I've been doing with the kids last week with idioms. So other than showing them a vocabulary video and a brain pop video, I also went ahead and showed them a PowerPoint presentation going over the idioms and what they are and different kinds of idioms that they might already know. And then what I decided to do to have them continue to practice is I created these cards on Word. And basically, I was able to write the idiom on one side and the meaning of the idiom on the other side. So since I have two groups of students, I was able to have 18, two sets of 18. So each of my students will have their own unique idiom. And this is a foldable that I created so the students can write what idioms are. They write their idiom inside, and then they write the literal meaning. So what the idiom literally means, and we actually discussed literal versus figurative meanings, and they illustrate the literal meaning, and then they write the real meaning of the idiom, and they illustrate the real meaning, and then for further practice, they use it in a sentence and then illustrate their sentence or create an illustration to represent their sentence. So this is what the students were able to do. This is, and then afterwards, if they wanted to, they could, you know, decorate the front because I am going to put it up in the bulletin board. But again, the kids wrote the meaning of idioms, what their idiom was according to the card they got. They wrote the literal meaning and they wrote the real meaning as well as illustrated it and then used it in a sentence. So that's basically how the students were able to practice their idioms, and some of them again didn't finish, but it's okay because we can do that for ketchup and pickles, which by the way, I do use ketchup and pickles. I did get inspired, and I do have it mostly on Fridays, but sometimes if they have time during their do now, they do it. So ketchup and pickles was an inspiration that I got from Pocketful of Primary, but it's also all over Instagram and Pinterest. Mostly Pinterest that I noticed. There's different variations of it. So I love doing ketchup and pickles. The kids get to catch up on work that they haven't finished and then pick an activity to do after they complete their work. So that's basically what I did. And again, I created these cards. If this is something that you guys want me to post in my Teachers Pay Teachers and Teachers Notebook store, let me know in a comment down below and I'll be sure to add it. This is the idiom foldable and the cards that have the different idioms with the meanings on the back. So that's what I've been doing with my students with idioms. So right now it's lunchtime. The students went to lunch. I like to keep the lights a little dim when I'm at lunch, so I only have my lamps on. And for social studies, we're learning about the regions of the United States. So one of the activities that's in our social studies book is for the students to create a map of their home and section it off into 5 regions according to the purpose of each room. The kids are now doing their own labeling of their houses and the regions of their houses, which is the purpose for each of their rooms. Some of them are just getting started coloring, and some of them are still putting their house plans down on paper. And after this, they'll see how the regions of the United States are separated and which region Florida belongs to. So I wanted to quickly show that we got finally our brand new social studies book, and I'm so excited because we've been teaching social studies from the interactive board. So we got placards, which are maps and photographs that go along with the curriculum. And this is a beautiful social studies book. I mean, it's brand spanking new, and we're so excited. The kids were so excited to get the books because, like I said, we've been doing it out of the internet in the website. We've already covered chapter 1. And now we're going to get into chapter 2, which we started today on the regions of the United States. And they had already done these hats in their social studies notebooks, which I'll show you in a minute. And right now we started working on regions of the United States. And we basically just got, you know, through one of the activities, and I introduced the map so that they can see that the United States is broken up into 5 regions and which region we will belong to, which is the Southeast region. So let me show you in a minute how their notebooks look from today. So this is my document camera that I got a couple years back from Donors Choose, and I use it in order to project to the students what they need to do in their notebooks and how to set it up. And like I said, these were the hats that they took notes on the different types of social scientists, the 4 different types of social scientists. They also had a project where they brought 4 different artifacts that represented each social scientist. So today, what they did in order to introduce them to Chapter 2, which are the regions of the United States, they created their homes map. I gave them this half sheet of graph paper that I just made really quickly on Word. And I had them think about how their home looks from the top view if they were to look at it without any roof on top of the house. And they had to section off their homes according to the different rooms and then choose a different color to separate their homes into 5 regions. So they did this. Some of the students are still working on it, like I showed you before. And tomorrow, actually no, Thursday, which is the next day that we do social studies. So the students will share on Thursday their maps so that they can show the class how they separated their home into 5 regions. And that beautiful color map of the 5 regions in the United States, they're actually going to put it here. We were also blessed that a couple years ago from Donors Choose, we also got this laser printer, which is able to make copies in color for them. And the kids love it because, again, we use it for their notebooks as well as any projects that they do that require color. So basically, that's most of the things that I was able to do today, other than the social studies and going over the vocabulary and their homework. The students had to take an assessment on the computers from the unit that we just finished wrapping up. So they did pretty good. I was able to go over their results instantly, showing them how the class performed on each question. We use McGraw-Hill Wonders, and they allow us to have an online platform where we can put the test on the computers and the kids can take it. And I'm able to then create a report that can show the question analysis as to the percentage of the students and how they did on those questions. And we're able to instantly go over the questions where the class performed less than 70%. So yeah, we did that today, and we went over the social studies, like I said, and the vocabulary. And another thing that we did was today was class picture day. Not the whole class, but the individual student pictures. So they did that today. And for the rest of the week, we're going to start going over natural disasters and learning the text structure of compare and contrast. So I have a couple of ideas that I'll show you later on this week. But for the purpose of this video, I think this is pretty much where I'm going to end it. Another thing that we are currently doing is we are reading Wonder by R.J. Palacio, and the students are loving it, and we're trying to finish it so that they can go to the movie next month or towards the end of the month or in December. We're very excited. All of the 4th grade classes are doing it. I'm reading this with my 2 gifted classes, and then the rest of the team is going to focus on the picture book. Of Wonder, which is just as amazing, and it's beautiful. And R.J. Palacio herself drew the pictures. And along with this, I had also bought the 365 Days of Wonder, which is Mr. Brown's precepts. So every day I am reading a quote or a story or a reminder for the students to be kind and courageous and show friendship and love to each other. So they're really loving this. I'm really loving everything that I can pull together from that. So along with doing the regular curriculum, which is the McGraw-Hill Wonders, we're also reading this novel as a read aloud, and we're trying to wrap up one of the main novels that they read during the summer, which they'll be able to do that later, along with the writing that we're doing as well. So I'll end the blog here. If you guys want to find out anything else or have any questions, please leave your comments down below, and I'll be sure to share with you guys what I'm doing in the classroom, or if you have any questions, I'll be sure to share that with you. Please remember to follow me by clicking the subscription button and the bell so you can get notifications when a new video goes up. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Teachers Pay Teachers and Teachers Notebook. Again, I wish you all the very best, and I can't wait to see you again next time. Have a great day.